Hello, welcome to another Alpha Strike We Play video. Hello, Tarron.
Hey Adam, how we doing, mate?
I'm doing well.
Good stuff.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking roads.
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 Roads to nowhere.
Pavement, highways, freeways, back streets,
Talk about bridges?
front street.
No.
No bridges.
No bridges this month.
So what we're doing is we're sticking roughly to this, and in this you don't have any of the really funky rules that are in the Total Warfare. So we've got a little example of the funkiness, but we'll start with the box, shall we?
Okay.
So basically, pavement or roads mean that you pay no extra modifier to move into a hex, no matter what the underlying hex is. So even if there's woods or swamp or something, if there's a road through that hex as well, you're still paying 0. You won for your movement.
Yeah. But if it's woods, you still get the protection of woods, the cover and everything.
So you still get cover and everything.
That's nice.
There is.
It is nice.
It's pretty good. So there is a bridge in our example thing. You can see it there, but they don't actually go into bridges per se in the box set. But I think we might leave bridges until we're doing buildings, yes?
Yeah, we'll do another video for those. That's fine.
Yeah, because the bridges operate kind of like a building as well. So they've got construction and all that sort of stuff, and you have to go into all of that thing. So when we start doing that, we'll tell you about it.
Because they are paved.
Yes.
So you just, so you move over them like they're a clear hex, essentially.
Yeah. The main thing in Total Warfare about roads, the fun bit, the bit that has you going, yay, is skidding. So when you move at run movement level or flank, if you're using a vehicle, on a road, you're okay as long as you don't try and make a turn. If you make a turn and then try and move into another hex, then you have to make a piloting skill check to see if you skid out. If you just change your facing and stop, you're okay. If you run up and stop, you're okay. But if you run up, make a turn, and then try to move into another hex, you have to check for skidding.
We'll show you how that works now, eh?
Yeah, we'll show you how that works now with Gaz.
So,
and Gaz and Numpties 1 and 2.
Yep. So they're we'll call them the bad guys.
The bad guys.
So we're all rooting for this guy. He's got caught out in the open. He was on his patrol and he got ambushed. So he can't really get away.
I'm rooting for him to slide out and raise himself to death on the pavement. It's going to be funny.
So we've rolled initiative, and unfortunately, our hero has lost it, so he has to move first. Now, there's a lot of firepower coming at him. He's probably not going to last in a shooty phase thingy. So
he wants to leave.
Yeah, he wants to try. He's got to get over this way somehow, and the only way to get across that bridge is through somebody or to try and do something.
So he's going to try and charge at the Shadow Hawk.
Yeah.
So your first couple of hexes there, if you're going at a run movement, your first couple of hexes there aren't going to be any big deal. So why don't we go through those?
Yep. So
he's got a run of 9.
There's a run of 9. So this is the Commando-3A, which is pretty well. Okay.
As far as armor goes, he's got less armor than a locust. But seriously,
he's not going to stand up to normal shooting, so he's going to have to do something. So he chooses to run. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Facing change
4.
4.
So up until that point, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you say, I'm going to move into the next hex, you have to make a piloting skill check, and you make it with a set modifier. There's a skid modifiers table. We might be able to get that up on the doodah.
Well, I'm going to move into the next hex because that's when the action starts. So let's do that.
You've moved 3 hexes so far.
Yep.
So you get no modifier to your piloting skill check. Okay. So let's
standard
see
pilot,
how we do.
Piloting 5. A 5. Look at that. It's just like in the movies. It's like right on it.
So he hasn't skidded out there.
Okay. So he can keep going.
He can keep going. So that's
1, 2, 3, change 4.
4, 5, 6, 7. So now
I'm going to move to the next hex, John.
Make a piloting skill roll, Gaz.
Woo! Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on the table, that's a +1. So he needs
a 6.
A 6. Oh,
failed.
Aye. Okay.
So now, because he failed his skidding piloting skill roll, he will he has to make a piloting skill to check afterwards, but he automatically falls. So because he failed that...
Do we?
Yeah, we still have to do...
we need that to apply the damage. So
yeah,
you're right.
So you need to do facing after a fall.
Let's start with that. So it's a D6, sorry, my mistake.
Yep, 1d6.
6.
So one hex side left, and the left side takes the damage.
All right.
So he takes normal damage from a fall, which would be his...
So he is a 30-ton mech, so that's 3 points.
Yeah, so it's divided by 10 for a fall, so
yep
3
3 points.
And it's on the left side.
Now, is that modified? No, it is. There's more damage because...
There will be more damage coming, but right now it's just a fall.
Just fall? Okay.
Yeah, it suffers normal falling damage and then skids.
Okay, all right.
So one 3-point group on the...
So 5...
On the left side.
Right here, sorry.
Is the left arm.
Left arm.
2, 3.
I might move that down there so we can see. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So he's fallen. He's taken his standard falling damage, and now he has to skid. So a ground unit skids for a number of hexes equal to the number of hexes it has moved in the turn so far divided by 2 and rounding up. So he moved, what, 7? 6?
5, 6.
6. So we divide by 2, so there's 3. So he's going to skid for 3 hexes. Now, the silly thing is he's skidding straight into a hill.
Yeah, so it's a level 1 hill. Some idiot built the road right up next to a cliff face.
So he's going to skid out, he's fallen down, and then he's going to wham into a hill because...
So because it's elevation 1, it's going to stop his movement, isn't he?
Yeah.
He can't physically travel that distance.
If the levels of the hex to be entered is 1 or more higher than the level of the skidding unit's current hex, the skidding unit automatically crashes into it and stops, taking 1 point of damage for every 20 tons the skidding unit weighs.
Okay, so he's 25.
Yep.
So 3.
No, 1. No, 2. Rounded up.
2 rounded up.
Yep. So 1 point for every 20 tons. So it's...
Oh, it's the physical
1 and a
distance
bit.
he travelled, because he only travelled none. Will be a minimum of 1, I take it, right? That's what it says?
No, this is him crashing into the level is 1 point for every 20 tons rounded up. So it's 2.
2.
Yeah. So it's 1 and a bit, rounded up is 2.
Okay.
And that's in 5-point groupings on the appropriate thing for the...
Of what he had, of when he fell. Okay, so that was
so
on the left side. So 9 on the left side is right torso.
2 points.
2 points. He's doing well.
So you can technically skid off a cliff or into water or into a hill, as Gaza has just demonstrated.
Cannonball!
So now he's taken a fall. So technically he needs to make a piloting skill roll to see if he takes any damage. The pilot itself.
The pilot, so we'll do that. So it would have the movement penalty, the modifier, or is that just for the skidding?
I think that's just
Just
for
for the
skidding.
skidding. Okay. That's fine. You rolled an 8.
Okay.
So he's good.
So he hasn't hurt himself, but he's seriously damaged his own mech.
He's done 5 points of damage. Yeah.
Yeah, he's nearly wiped that arm off. And now he's on the floor in front of 2 rather large mechs that haven't actually moved.
Yeah. So he did have a little bit of movement left, but you can't spend it. If you screw it up, then yeah, he's down.
Yeah, he's down. If he's trying to get away now, he's royally buggered that up. So he's not going anywhere. They're going to pound the poo out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's modify it a bit. So let's go back here
and pretend he's skidded out there.
Let's pretend, and we'll take this damage off. Magic finger, look. So he was here.
Yep.
And he fails his roll.
Yep.
So he skids. Yep?
Yep.
Okay. So you skid, what was the rules again for it?
So you have to do your fall first.
Yep.
Yep, so if you skid out, you do a fall.
We'll assume that he did.
Yep, and you take damage for your fall.
Yep. Well, let's assume it was on the same, because that can be the same. We can keep that. So it was 3 points to the arm.
So when you skid out, you'll skid for a number of hexes equal to the number of hexes it's moved divided by 2, rounded up.
Yep.
So you've moved 3 hexes.
Yep.
So you divide that by 2 and round up, it'll be 2.
So 1.
And you in that hex, for every hex that a mech skids, it suffers damage equal to 1/2 its normal falling damage rounded up. And you apply that in 5-point groups using the column determined by the fall. So he fell on his left side.
Yep.
So when he enters that hex, he'll take half his normal falling damage, which is...
So it'd be 3 halved, rounded up.
And then rounded up.
2.
So it'll be 2 points.
Yep.
So he'll take 2 points to a location on his left side.
Yep.
So we'll roll for that. When he enters there, yep.
Okay. So you do it as you move.
After the skid has ended, adding up all damage. Okay,
so not straight away. Okay.
So he's taking 2 points
so far,
and then he'll skid into the
2 points so far.
Yeah, and then he'll skid into the catapult. But because the catapult hasn't moved, it's got the option to make a piloting skill check to see if it can avoid a collision. So it's allowed to make a piloting skill roll, a normal everyday one.
Right,
so
well, let's just do that. So everyone's 5. So let's see what happens. He rolls a 7, so he's okay.
So he's allowed to avoid the collision, which means he can make his movement now, his full movement right now. And obviously the best way to do that would be either to back up out of the way of the skid or move off in another direction. But let's pretend he rolled a 2 just then.
Let's do that.
Oh, look, you rolled really crap, buddy. Look at that. Oh, it's a 2. Gosh.
Okay.
Golly gee whiz.
All right.
In that case, the unit has to stay where it is and take the hit. So the skidding unit makes a successful charge and unintentional charge with all standard modifiers, including those for unintentional charges. So let's just stop there a second, look up what those unintentional charge modifiers are.
Pill was going to cut this part, but she might leave it in.
Yeah, she didn't bloody do it before. I clapped and everything, and you didn't cut it. I'm like, oh my god.
This is why you play chess.
Yeah, this is why you play snakes and ladders. It's like just you know.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, So he's barreling towards the catapult. So he needs to do a check to see if you can actually hit him. Maybe get some benefit from it, if you can. So that's essentially a charge, but it has, so all the modifiers for a charge. So that starts with your piloting. So in this case, 5, plus the movement that he chose, which was to run.
And this one counts as an unintentional charge, so there's an extra +3 for that.
Yeah. So you've got +2 for run, +3. So he's on what, 10?
Yeah. So he needs a 10.
And well, luckily the catapult hasn't moved yet, so there's no modifier on that, so that's handy. So he needs a 10.
Let's see.
Oh, so close. 9. All right. So he missed that. So under the rules, he either moves to here
or to the one on the
or here. He may choose.
So if he wants to leave, probably has he got jumping movement?
He does not.
No. So there's probably his best bet, really. Otherwise, he's going to have to wade through water to get out, and that's just going to slow him down.
He's in trouble regardless.
He's
so
still
just put him
skidding.
there anyway.
Yeah, and that's another hex worth of skidding. So he's skidded two hexes so far.
Yeah.
Okay. So he didn't charge into, didn't crash into the catapult and do any damage there, but he has still continued to skid. Now, how far was he skidding? 2 hexes, and he's already got his 2 hexes.
So even though he's displaced here, which is technically 3, I'm pretty sure they only counted as the physical 2, because that's a free movement, that displacement.
So you get for every hex that a mech skids, it suffers damage equal to 1/2 its normal falling damage rounded up. So he's got 2 per hex, which means he's got another 4 points of damage coming on his left side.
Yep.
So you do that when the skid ends, and the skid just ended.
Yeah. So we'll do that now.
let's see.
9. You rolled that before.
On
Right
his-
torso.
Yeah, it's right torso.
That's
So
4.
4 points.
Wow. So all of his front torso, right side, is the
Gone.
armor's gone.
And almost all that left arm is gone as well.
Yeah. Wow, that's
yeah.
nasty.
So again, he's stuck in between two mechs that are hostile and haven't actually had their turn yet.
Yeah.
And now, conveniently, they're right next to him, so they don't even have to walk up to him to kick his head in. They can just do it from there.
Yep, from the convenience of their own home. It's Uber Commando.
The catapult's just lifted a leg and gone,
Is it
what
up?
the
Yep.
hell?
Yeah, so there we go.
Oh, good.
So
So-
it's not working out for him at all.
No, but this is all these books, Total War books. Okay, then none of that is in this. If you're worried about your BattleTech games getting a bit complex, stick with this.
Yep.
But if you want to get really cool stuff happening, like a commando skidding out and taking the legs out of a catapult, then move on once you get the hang of the rules, because it is really cool.
Yeah, because there's a bit of complexity to it. So if, like I said, if you like it simple, just
Yeah.
yeah.
But like I do, make yourself a little cheat sheet. If you do a lot of urban battles, then make yourself a little cheat sheet on the rules for pavement, skidding, that sort of thing, and have it handy. Print it out from the books, whatever. But yeah, it's fun. It's kind of fun.
I think we'll talk about buildings and that next might be the way to go.
Yeah,
because it's still all paved and bridges.
Yep, I think we've got a few extra rules to finish off in this, but buildings are definitely coming up very, very soon. And bridges will be amongst buildings, and maybe we can revisit Gaz's skid out thing
how it
and see
goes.
if he can pull it together.
You might be lucky.
I doubt
You
it.
never know. So that's it. Another video. Thank you for
Yay.
watching. If you have any comments, just leave them there. Any ideas of what you'd like to sort of see?
Flowers for Gaz.
Yeah. Condolences. I'm getting stomped.
All good.
That's
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.